Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden 22 defensive plays video breakdown, want to take a look at a four-man pass rush that will confuse your opponent. And the technique I'm about to use is something I've used in the past when I worked with VG Sports and did it in some of the guides that I've done that worked pretty well. And I haven't really seen it working as well over the last several years, but it's certainly working in the game this year. So I want to go ahead and showcase it to you guys in this video breakdown. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the play that I'm going to run this from. And it's going to be out of the nickel 2-4-5. It's called cover 4 quarters. This defense features 2 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. The coverage type is zone. The coverage shell is cover 4. Obviously, there's not really a blitz type since you only got a 4-man pass rush. The gap pressure not available there as well. The pass rushers are 4 and the pass defenders are 7. Here are the defensive playbooks that you'll find in nickel 2-4-5 cover 4 quarters out of. Now, a lot of you guys ask me what defensive playbook that I'm using, and I'll be honest with you, one of the playbooks I use the most is the Dolphins because I find there are a lot of nice plays on defense that I can run. And so for this video breakdown, I'm going to go ahead and use the Dolphins playbook. So for you guys who are wondering what playbook I've been using on the defensive side of the ball, it's been that one quite a bit. So I just want to let you guys know that. All right, well, let's go ahead and get right on into the video breakdown. Before I show the setup here, I want to go ahead and do my substitutions real quick for you guys. Now, as you guys know, I like the Cowboys, and this is the team that I primarily run with. So what I want to do is go ahead and make a couple subs real quick. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and sub out Parsons first. Now, you can use some packages and stuff if you want. That's up to you. And as far as substitutions here, I'm going to go ahead and bring Wilson in. He's a strong safety. I'm going to move him in for Parsons. And then this one's really up to you guys, what you guys want to do here. I'm going to go ahead and bring Hooker in here. He's a safety. So what I'm going to happen here is a lot of defensive backs on the field. And then what I'm going to do is, now that's up to you. You can leave your linebackers in there too if you want. That's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and bring Parsons in here at this position right here as you look at your screen there. And then I'm going to move Gregory to the inside. And then I'm going to get rid of this gentleman right here. And then I'm going to bring Basham in here. So for me, as you look at this, I've got a lot of speed here as you look at my screen here. So what I've got here essentially is these 3 guys right here are all defensive linemen. So you got Gregory, Basham, and Lawrence right here. Now Lawrence, because I like his ability to manually pass rush, I'm not going to sub him out with a linebacker. So I'm going to leave him in there because I feel I'm pretty good with that. And then the rest of these guys here, as you look at your screen, are all defensive backs of some sort. So I want to point that out to you guys. Again, this is up to you. The only thing I will suggest to you is this guy right here, this linebacker right here, the defensive player right here that I've got, which is Parsons. Try to find your fastest linebacker. The faster he is, the better off you are with this particular setup I'm about to show. Now that I showed all the defensive subs I like to make here with the Cowboys, here's the defense again as you look at it. It's out that nickel 2-4-5 defense. And remember, I'm using the Dolphins playbook if you're following along. And there it is right there. It's a nickel 2-4-5 cover 4 quarters. So that's the defense I'm going to run this with. And as far as on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to go ahead and send everybody out here. I'm going to run this play called Shark Halfback Will out of the gun doubles offset. And this will be out of the Eagles playbook if you're following along. All right, as far as the setup goes, I'm going to make this real quick and then we'll go back and we'll just talk about how this works. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and hot route this guy right here. As you look at it, that's going to go ahead and be the nose tackle or defensive tackle who's lined up right here between the center and the left guard. And then we're going to switch over to this guy right here, which is going to be the free safety. We're going to go ahead and hot route him the blitz as you look at your screen. And then we're going to switch over here to this guy right here, which is a strong safety. We're going to move him into the inside third as far as with the hot route. So you can see right there. Now, as you look at the coverages at this point, we're in a cover 3 rather than a cover 4. The last thing that we need to do is go ahead and call QB contain, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Now, I can tell you 1 or 2 different things here. You can either control this guy right here. I'm going to switch over right now to that weak side defensive tackle that I put in QB spy. So he's right here. Or you can stay in control of this guy if you still choose. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and run it this way. I feel like it runs a little bit better when I'm in control of him, but you can certainly switch over to the strong safety as well. So let's go ahead and run this, and then I'll just show you how this works. And you guys can see right there, we get the pressure on the quarterback. Now, there's some things that are going on, and that's why I want to go in instant replay. And I want to talk about some of this as we go. The first thing I want you guys to notice is this guy right here. And this is kind of important. it's going to be this safety as you look at it, this free safety, the one that we hot routed to blitz. Now, I can remember back in the old days when I used to do this, when I used to work with VG Sports, I used to hot route these guys a lot of times. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, I think I was one of the first ones to do it at the time, because what happened was the offensive linemen would look to block him. Even if they're 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, they would look to block. If you go back to probably like Madden 10, I'm sure it's somewhere back in those days, maybe Madden 9, this would work. Matter of fact, what would happen, especially you guys who follow me along, you guys know this if you guys, bought the guides that I did. So what would happen is, say for example, that this gentleman was lined up right here and you hot routed him the blitz. I'm just kind of trying to showcase this. Say that's the defender right there. Then the center would actually come all the way out and block. That's back in the old days. Now it doesn't really work that way anymore. However, in this year's game, it looks like it's kind of working depending on where the safeties are lined up at. In this case, this safety lined up here. What it seems to do here now is it has a offensive lineman looking to block him. It's not going to be what you think. It's going to end up being this guy right here. It's going to be this offensive lineman right here. It's going to be this left tackle. He's actually going to look to block. Even though that guy's lined up, about 14 yards off the line of scrimmage, that left tackle will look to block. When that happens, then this guy right here, this left guard, will then look to block to the outside and look to block Parsons, who's rushing off the edge here as you look at your screen. Now, keep in mind, he's not actually in a pass rush. He's actually in QB contain. So that's the other thing that's very important, is not only does that free safety have to be hot routed to blitz, Parsons needs to be put in QB contain. That's why we put him in QB contain for this to work. So that's how this works. So that's why it seems to work pretty well this way. And what happens is, as you look at it, we're able to get around pretty quick with Parsons. And as you look at it, this left tackle or left guard isn't able to slide over fast enough to block Parsons. Now that's because Parsons' speed rating is so darn fast that he's able to get around him pretty quick. If you get a slower guy, it may not work quite as well. Although I have seen Gregory, he's been able to get in. I think he's like an 82 speed. So he's been able to still get pressure on a quarterback. And now the cool thing about this setup is, what I really, really like about this is, you've got this guy, Lawrence, who's in QB contain, and you got Parsons chasing him down. And, as far as with this, you got a guy in QB spy. Rather, it's not very fast. Gregory's not very fast, but he is in spy. So he can try to help take this away, especially if you're in control of him, you can try to take this away. Now, the other thing is, you look at your screen here as you're watching this, you can see, we're just going to rewind it again here. Remember, we just talked about this, but this left tackle, look what he does here. See, he has to respect, for some reason, he looks to go ahead and block this guy who's blitzing. Now, the other thing is, what I'll say is, your opponent sees this, he might think he's in a robber, even though he's actually blitzing. So he may not make a quick pass. And if he does make a pass, this guy, say he does try to throw the ball real quick. Say he tries to throw the ball into here. Well, then this guy's in position to go ahead and maybe make a tackle as soon as the ball's thrown. I don't know why he would throw this, because he's got all this other coverage as well. But say he did try to do that. You got all that coverage in there. But it's a pretty good defense right there as you look at it. Now, there's obviously some flaws to the coverage here. I mean, if we go out here to the right, you can clearly see that the running back's wide open. Maybe your opponent would throw it over here and complete it over here. But you can definitely see there's some decent coverages with this defense as far as bringing pressure on the quarterback, plus the coverages are pretty decent. And also you get the QB contain, which in my opinion does a pretty good job at taking away the quarterback from rolling out. So what I want to do is I want to go back in this one more time and just do another quick setup here for you guys, and we'll just see what happens with this. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do the adjustments I just made earlier. We're going to go ahead and put him in QB spy. That's the nose tackle. Go ahead and call QB contain. And then we're going to go ahead and hot route this guy to blitz. And then we'll go ahead and put this guy over here. Now this time I'm going to stay in control of him as far as with this, as far as what the coverages go. But let's just go ahead and run this. Now I'm actually not going to move him because I'm actually in control of the quarterback. But just keep in mind, if you watch this, if I were in control of him, I could drop him back over the middle myself. So I just want to show that to you guys and watch how this works. See, again, it's the same idea here. So you could basically run this defense with, depending on who you want to cover or be in control of, you can either be in control of this guy right here or this guy right here, depending on how you want to go ahead and do this as far as with this setup. So that's what's nice about it. You can either switch over to this guy right here, which is this guy right here, the one I'm in control of now. I went ahead and hot route him into QB spy. I put this guy in blitz, and then I switched over here and I took control of this guy. So you could do that as far as with the setup. Let's go ahead and run it one more time here and just watch. I'm going to go ahead and be in control of the quarterback and then run this. So you guys can see right here, he gets in pressure and we get that same thing. So that kind of takes that roll out of the way. So your opponent, if he's got a fast quarterback, this ought to do a pretty decent job at defending that. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and go one last thing I want to show with this as far as before I get to having the running back stay in the pass block. Another option, if you're fast enough, not everybody's going to be fast enough, but if you are fast enough, you go back to the same setup. This time, I'm going to put this guy, now this is going to be the nose tackle. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the bluff blitz. And then I'm going to switch over to the safety here, which is, remember, he's the guy subbed in. This is Hooker. I went ahead and subbed him. I'm going to put him in QB spy. Now, this gives me a little bit faster speed than what I would have had if I would have had the nose tackle in QB spy. And then I'm going to go ahead and hot route this guy right here to blitz. And then I'm going to go ahead and take control of the safety right there and put him in the deep zone. Now, you don't have to, if you plan on controlling this guy, obviously you do not have to hot route him. You can control him and do whatever you want. You don't have to hot route him over there if you so choose to do this. So that's the setup right there. I'm going to go ahead again and control the quarterback, and then hopefully you'll get that same pressure right there. So we get that same pressure, as you guys can see. All right, the last thing I want to show with this before I get into having the running back stand in the pass block is this right here. Let's go back in the same setup again, and we're going to go ahead and call QB spy, and then we're going to switch back to this guy right here, put him in QB spy, and then this time I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in a blitz, and then I'm going to take control of this guy, and this is why I put him into this position, this deep zone, as far as with this, because I'm actually going to switch over once my linebacker, in this case it's Parsons, once Parsons gets past the line of scrimmage here, once he gets past here, about in this area here, I'm actually going to switch to him because he should be the first defender through. And then I'm going to switch to him. Then I'm going to go chase the quarterback. So that's what I want to show here when I'm doing this. Let's hope this works and see if I can get to work. Like I said, it may not always work, but we're going to certainly go ahead and try it and see what happens with this and see what happens with it. So let's go ahead and run this as far as with the switching here. Now keep in mind, I'm trying to be the quarterback and trying to be a defender all at the same time here. So let's just see what I can do here. See right there, I kind of got a little bit out of control of him, but you can see right there, I couldn't control the quarterback, but that's the idea of that. You can switch over to him if you want in manly pass rush once he gets past the line of scrimmage, and that's why you put that strong safety into this deep middle so he can go ahead and still patrol the middle if you decide to switch over and try to manly pass rush once the ball snapped. So that's the key to that. All right, the last thing I want to show here what this is, as far as with this, mainly is the running back staying in the pass block. I'm going to go ahead and run this with this formation. Here's the running back. As you look at it, he's clearly staying in the pass block. Let's see what happens with this and see if we can still go ahead and get some pressure on the quarterback. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the same setup that we've been doing here. We're going to go ahead and put this guy into QB spy. Go ahead and call QB contain, put this guy in a blitz, take control of this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and stay in control of him this time. And we're going to have him just, doing the deep zone over the deep middle. I am going to control the quarterback this time. So right there, that's with the running back staying in the pass block. And we still get pressure, or actually cause a fumble. And with Parsons, I probably could have took that in and scored. As you look at it, let's go back into instant replay. The same idea here, guys. It works nicely with the running back staying in the pass block as well. There's the edge rush right there coming off the edge. There's your running back. He's looking to pass block, staying off to the right. Clearly not in position to do anything. He's just blocking grass right there. By the time he stops blocking grass, he's too late to come back and try to block Parsons. The quarterback's trying to take off. He's trying to roll out over here. And right now, as you can see, he's in deep crap because he's got this, we got Lawrence right over there. I'm chasing him down with Parsons, and I've got a guy in QB spy. So pretty nice here as far as with this setup, as far as bringing some pressure on the quarterback. All right, before I finish things up, I want to go ahead and just go with one more formation just to show this to you guys. It can work against other formations as well. What I will tell you this, I don't know if it works against every single formation in the game. Obviously, there's always all these random things that could happen as well. It depends on what your opponent does. Maybe he does some, slide protection and all that stuff. There's a lot of things that can go on with that. But by the general thing of this defense, this is how it works. So let's go ahead and go over here. Let's go ahead and run this out of the gun bunch offset formation. We'll run this against the gun bunch offset spacing switch play. So that's on the offensive side of things. And then we'll go ahead and run the same defense against that and the same setup that I've been showing here. Let's go back into that quarters defense here. And it's right there as you look at it. So let's go ahead and call QB contain, switch over to this guy right here. which is going to be great. We put him into the QB spy. We switch off to the free safety. We blitz him. And then we're going to switch over to the safety, strong safety, and put him in the inside third. Keep in mind, I'm going to stay in control of him. And then I'm going to go ahead, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and run this play with the quarterback. I'm going to roll him out, try to run out. And again, we still get the pressure on the quarterback. Same thing that's been happening. Let's see what happens if the running back stays in the pass block. This one with the running back, he may end up blocking me. I can tell you that right now. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. So there's the QB contain. Right there's your QB spy. There's your safety that I put in the blitz. Switch over this guy to inside third. Again, it's cover 3 as you look at it now. We're going to go ahead and leave the running back in to stay in the pass block. There he is, stay in the pass block. Now, the difference is obviously the running back is now on the left of the quarterback rather than the right. So that could make a difference here as far as the pass blocking goes. And right there, the running back does pick him up, but you know what? We still got, if the quarterback rolls out, we're still able to possibly go ahead and sack him with that QB contain on the right side of the screen as you look at it. So that's nice. So, you know, this is something you guys can certainly run. It's just another tool to throw out there. And that's what's nice about it. Just another tool that'll work for you to kind of give you some other options that maybe you didn't think about doing. And this is just another option as far as, or at least another defensive tool, another setup that can certainly bring pressure on the quarterback. So hopefully, guys, this is something that you guys can use with this that definitely can bring some pressure on the quarterback and kind of try to confuse him, such as what the title says here, 4-man pass rush that will confuse your opponent. So guys, take care. I'll look forward to bringing another video to you guys shortly, but enjoy your guys' weekend here. And again, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys watching the video breakdown here. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.